That being said, we want to welcome everybody back to the King of Our Life podcast. I
Welcome
am
back.
Son Soul Lex, and this is my homeboy in the
So Toucha the
Bula.
poet in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We are in here.
For sure. So you guys make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube if you would, please.
And follow us on
And if you
Instagram.
mhm. And if you have any comments or topic suggestions, please email us at kingandI369 at gmail.com. Again, that is KINGANDEYE 369 at gmail.com.
He
And I
didn't mess it
pulled
up
it
this time.
off. I pulled it off. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Finally, finally,
Okay.
finally, finally, finally.
You would think by now.
Right. Exactly. Craziness, I tell you.
Telling you.
But look,
Uh,
we we got some things popping. As always, we say that we got some things popping, but we definitely got some things popping. Um, our next guest coming this Wednesday. What's the date? 22, the 24th, right?
yes, sir.
All right,
24th.
24th of March.
Mm-hmm.
Have what's her name again? Miss what?
Miss Breezy.
Miss Breezy. Shh. Hot, hot, hot,
Yes, she
hot
is.
artist. Yo.
Man, I have been listening to her all today when I got off work. And I'm like, damn, she really is talented. Like,
That's what's
if
up,
she
man.
wasn't talented, I'd be like, well, I don't know.
Right, right, right,
But
right, right, right.
they're like, I don't know. But really, she is very talented. Her music, it flows well. I like the beats that she chooses. I mean, these new artists that are coming across our path, they are pure fire, man, for
Oh
real.
yeah, yeah, no doubt, man. I give it out to them, man.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a I know I do my poetry and stuff, but I think that whole songwriting and putting that together and the hooks, the melodies and the verses and all that, that's a skill too, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. And picking
And
out the beats, though,
yeah,
that's that shit right there.
and they definitely got to be out there performing more than I need to perform. You know,
Okay.
I could just throw my stuff in a book and put it out there, or hit an open mic and drop 3 poems or whatever, whatever the stage is calling for. But them, they gotta perform, and I think with them I think they got a harder way to go because all music audiences today is a little different than they was back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. You really got to prove yourself.
Right,
Like,
right, right.
you got to go into battle full armor down.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But yeah. Like I said, we got some good stuff coming. We keep saying that, and it's like, man, y'all keep saying it, but it's gonna come. It is really gonna come. Um,
Yes, yes,
you
yes.
know,
Like we said earlier, man, we respect our audience. We want to make sure that what we bring to the table for you guys is on point.
oh
So,
yeah,
unfortunately, when you put quality over quantity, it tends to slow down the process a little bit. And again,
yeah,
um, with Soul Touch and myself, we don't want to put anything out there, with our name on it that doesn't fully represent us in a level that we strive to place ourselves on. So
right.
again, please just bear with us. We definitely do got some things in a
Yeah, we
cooker,
got
as they say.
yeah, it's in the cooker. It's in the cooker, man. But other than that, I mean, hey, podcast life is great. Um,
Oh yeah, I'm loving it.
we've definitely had some great interviews lately. Our topics are still good. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Look, we need a female voice that'll step in every now and then because scheduling with our trio is kind of difficult. So we might need a female voice on some of these topics that we got to clean out of uh our stash box has been staring at us
Mhm.
for like 2.5 months.
Heck yeah, they in the vote, and every time we go to do our thing, we be like, "Damn, that would be a good one. That would be a
Right,
good one."
right,
But
right,
then we're like, we need a female voice.
right. But then sometimes we just go for it and wait for the feedback. And
That's it.
some of the feedback, well, not some, most of the feedback has been pretty receptive, on them topics that we do that we wish we had that female voice on. But yeah, we would love to have a female voice, because we can only say so much from a man's perspective on a lot of these topics.
True that. True that. So with that being said,
Yes,
the
with that
topic
being said,
with the topic for the night, we definitely would have loved to have had a female's interjection and view on the
yes.
topic, but hey, it is what it is. We can't stop the wheels from rolling. We got too much momentum rolling right now, so
Oh
we're gonna go
yeah.
jump into this one.
And before we even announce the topic, as always, we are not too proud to put men out there on Front Street on our bullshit.
Okay, it is what it is, man. You got to ride with it.
I had to throw that disclaimer out there because that's going to be one of them damn topics.
For sure now. But anyway, before we get into that, one more thing, you guys make sure you go and support my man, Soul Toucher the Poet. Right now, he has 3 books out. 3,
Yeah.
count them, 1, 2, 3, and they are full of very impactful poems and things to really make you think. And he really does have a talent for touching people. So if you would make sure you show some support to my homeboy and pick up his books. Sorry.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. With that, man, I just did that open mic the other day, and it was fire. I talked to the host, and she was saying that they had technical difficulties with the rest of the show. So only my first one, like half of my first one, got caught on air. But I'm gonna record those and throw them up on my either my Instagram or my YouTube channel, because I had wrote them that day, and they were received very well. So I'm very proud of them. So got that coming up. So and I definitely need to get more active on my damn Instagram and YouTube channel, because pouring all of it into this podcast is rewarding, but we can't neglect the life.
I know, right? Hey, it's not easy being an author and a damn co-host on a podcast. So
Yeah, and
I
working full
definitely
time and
tip
all that
my
other
hat.
shit we be doing.
Yeah, hell yeah. So
Man.
I definitely tip my hat to you, homie.
Yeah.
And again, I got a chance to catch part of it
Yeah.
before it cut off, and he was doing so well. And I was like, look at
Oh
my dog.
man. Oh man. Oh
But
man.
anyway, I look forward to when you put those out, because that first one, I was totally digging it.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So we're gonna go ahead and get into this thing.
Without further ado.
For sure. Women being single because they use their baby as a tool.
That is the topic. That is the topic. Yes.
I'll say it again. I'll say it again, because I know some ears perked up just then.
Boy, I know it did. I know it did.
Women being single because they use their babies as a tool. We all have our morals and stance, but where are the lines clear, cut, and blurred? Although they typically stagnated by women, we would be dead wrong if we didn't mention men who do the same thing. So
again.
Yeah.
Again.
we putting it on men too now.
Yes.
We're putting it on men too.
Yes, yes, yes.
So women, don't take it like we putting it all on y'all. Hell no.
Nah.
We definitely would not alienate you guys.
Nah. So the first question is, why do some women feel like this is an effective way to get or even keep a man? I mean, what is your take on that?
I um I feel like sometimes in some situations women feel uh, hurt by men because
Mm-hmm.
they had this I guess ideal situation in their head or how they wanted things to go. They had this perfect picture of me, my man, and my child, and for whatever reason, whether it be just a situation just didn't work out for both parties, or one party chose to leave the situation. Um, Women, they, in my personal opinion, they love to the point of they want things to work.
Mm-hmm.
They're willing to try to sit, or I'm not gonna say all, but some of them are willing to sit down with you and say, hey, what's going on? I noticed that we got this, and that
Mm-hmm.
not lining up to what our goals or our visions for this relationship is, and they try to work through that. But in
Right.
some situations, again, coming back to the men,
Right.
they feel like that's your vision and that's not mine, so they choose to leave the relationship. And then again, the woman, she's hurt by that, so that love that she had for you turns into bitterness.
Yeah.
Like, who the f are you to leave me, and we created this whole other life
Mm-hmm.
together, and now you're telling me that you don't want this? You want saying that when you're all up in these guts?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think that sometimes that love that they have overpower uh, their clear mind or their way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So they take that child and they use that child in a corrupt way to get back at their former mate.
Mm. Yeah. Um, my take is it's a few reasons. The first reason I would say, well, in no particular order, um, but the first reason I would say is that female may be immature in the sense that she has come from a broken home, dysfunctional family, um, and is looking for that father replacement, or however you want to call it. Um, and they don't want to feel they or not they don't want to feel they have this separation anxiety type of thing going on, to where they feel like they need to do that to keep the man there, this, that, and the other. Um, the one thing that one other reason that I will say that I've more so seen or experienced is these dudes come out and sell all kinds of dreams to these women, that they know damn well that they're not going to fulfill. They can't fulfill them, or they just not mentally or emotionally ready to fulfill them, or even financially ready to fulfill them. So,
Yeah,
um, so that causes these women to be bitter, or whatever the case may be. And unfortunately, the child becomes the pawn in the game, um,
hmm,
which isn't right either. But until people get it in their heads that they need to grow up and be mature, stop playing these little games, because at the end of the day, it's the child who suffers the most. It's gonna keep happening.
it is. It definitely is. I mean, when you take a child and, like you say, use them as a pawn in your own selfish games, you're doing more harm to that child than you could ever imagine in the long run,
Yeah, yeah.
because they pick up on what it is that you're doing with them, and they think that that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
They think that that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yep.
So when they grow into adults, they take on that same energy of, I come from a broken home. Let me play this game to get
Mm-hmm.
what it is that I want.
Yep.
And they may use their own child. as a pawn in this game that we call life sometimes. But
Right, right. And then
and
that goes. Go ahead.
a lot of men, again, putting the ball back in their court, uh, they use their kids as a way to get back in. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
really want to be a family. I know that I said I was going to do this, I was going to do that, but just think about little Martin or Mark or little Jacob or whatever you want to call him.
Right.
Let me get back in. Let me try this one more
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's a ploy. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to maneuver his way back in to get what it is that he wants.
Yeah.
So,
Just doing that to tug on the heartstrings because he know that's the way to get back at her.
mhm,
And then a lot of them know that that woman has that bond with him because of the child, and he uses that. And another reason is they don't want that woman to be with nobody else.
true.
You know, that the ironic thing about that is you got a lot of insecure men, immature men who will do this, and it's because okay, he wanted to be him, move on, go do his dirt, whatever the case may be, but then when it comes back around and she's like ready to move on and she's in that vulnerable space still, the wounds are still fresh and she's trying to move on and he's coming around, here and there playing the daddy role, but as soon as you see
Mhm.
another dude and they're treating her right and she happy, he see that damn wound is still fresh, and he doing whatever he can to play with her head, play with her heart, and you know he might play this mind game, this mentally ignorant mind game on her to get her in that vulnerable position. Um, and then at the end of the day, it goes back to what we said on family trauma topic and a couple of other topics. It's that vicious cycle that keeps going on, especially if the child is like really seeing what's going on. So people need to stop that, man. Especially, I think dudes need to stop that. And but here's another thing.
Mhm.
Before we get off of this part, there are dudes who have full custody of their child for whatever reason, however, things outplayed out. And they will use the child to play with the woman's emotions. And it's crazy that they do that. It's like you a whole grown ass man. Be however you got full custody of your child, just appreciate that, raise your child, co-parent, whatever you got to do, unless it's impossible to do that. But why dangle the child in the woman's face like that? You know,
Mhm.
one of the biggest things with women is the child. And for a woman to not be able to raise her child for whatever reason, it's already painful enough for them. So when dudes do that, it's just that's just off the books.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it really is. And the thing that get me is these cats. They'll break a woman's heart, right? Knowing damn well you don't broke this woman's heart. You go off and do your thing, and then when you see her, potentially trying to put her life back together, and you see someone else putting a smile on her face,
Mm-hmm.
here your raggedy ass come, trying
Right.
to, sweep the rug out from underneath her feet again, prevent her from moving on, because you got it in your head that okay, uh, yeah, I did what I did, but I still love you, and we need to be together for our child.
Mm-hmm.
When in all actuality, you just don't want to see this woman with a someone who can potentially make her happy because
Yeah.
you couldn't do
Right.
it.
Right.
So it's kind of like you're in a sense cock blocking, but also at the same time, you like I don't want to see her happy like that, because if she's happy and I'm unhappy, even though I say I'm happy because I'm out here running, these streets and doing my business, I just can't let her do that. I can't see a smile on
Mm-hmm.
her face because somebody else put it there.
Right.
And
Exactly.
those are the type of niggas right there. Ooh, ooh, boy,
Can't
boy,
stand a boy.
you need to see Jesus. You need to see or whoever you think is your higher power. You need to see him. Go and
Exactly. You
talk
need
to
to
him.
go do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just go do it, cause that ain't even the way to live, man.
No, man, goddamn cop
Mm,
blocking and shit. I don't take your regular ass somewhere.
you're right.
Um, so where do you think this behavior originated from?
Whew. I mean, without even going into the origins of broken homes and all of that, because that we know that's happened for hundreds of years. I just
Mm-hmm.
think that it's a learned behavior, one.
Right.
Um, and sadly enough, a lot of these people sometimes don't even learn it at home. They learn it from their friends and TV and stuff like that. I know there's a good percentage of people that, are in those situations at home where they see that, they live it, or whatever the case may be. But I think a big part of it is, they see their friends do it and they think that shit cute or whatever the case may be. Um, as far as women, like I said, they're searching for something that they can't find. And, you know, they've seen this happen with their friends or people that they know. And on the outside, it looks like it works. So they're going to do it, not even understanding how toxic that relationship is. Um, and I think for dudes, if they see this with their friends, um, again, if they come from a good home, single parent or two parents or whatever the case may be, if they're not taught that, certain values when it comes to bringing a child into the world, or they don't listen, and they pick this up from their friends, you know, you might be surrounded by a whole bunch of knuckleheads or a whole bunch of people who want to hype you up to do stupid shit. Um, so they do it to impress their boys, or they're just really just again TV, uh, videos, and all this crazy stuff that people be posting online and stuff like that, and trying to glorify it, and people get this false hope of, oh, that's the hero complex when you do and it's a learned behavior. That's all it is.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Um, my thing is this, like you're saying, how they want to impress their friends, or they see their friends going through that, so they're like, you know what, my life is too damn boring. I need to spice
Right,
it
like
up.
what are you
so
doing?
so they'll go through these situations to either try to say, you know what, I'm going through something too,
Mm,
or my relationship isn't all that as well.
right.
And that's the sad part about it, because um, I mean, there's so many things you can be doing to try to correct your relationship, but it's kind of like how you're saying, like the Superman syndrome.
Hmm.
Like you create the damn problem and then come back around and try to fix the problem. Like da. I'm here to
Right,
fix the problem. I fucked up.
like get
You
out of here with that
know what I'm saying?
nonsense,
Like,
man. Come on, man.
stop it.
When all you
Stop
had to
it.
do
Like,
from the break was just take care of your responsibility. That's all you had to do from the break.
mhm,
And instead of doing that, you want to be a jackass.
yep. And a lot of cats, they'll get out there and they'll deliberately take a female through that. Again,
Yeah, they will.
playing that yo-yo role. Let
Right,
me string you all the way out and then roll you back in. String you
right.
out, roll you back in.
Don't
And
not even comprehending the damage that they're doing.
yeah, like you are so messing up this woman for the next man who could truly love her the way she feels she deserves to be loved.
Right.
But instead of doing that, it's a game for you. And I
Hmm.
think, I seriously think some cats sit back and laugh at that shit to themselves. Like, yeah, look at this shit. Boy, I got her. I got her.
Hmm.
Maybe bragging to their friends, I got her. See that she thought she was gone, but I'm gonna bring her back home.
Yeah.
I go in there and I cry and weep a little bit and tell her, me, her, and our child need to be together. We need to be a family. We need to
Hmm.
stop bullshitting. And then the next thing you know, you're doing the same goddamn thing. Like,
Yep.
man,
The crazy thing about that is, people who do that, a lot of them be crying inside, for real, for real.
mm-hmm.
Because they know a lot of them know they dead ass wrong when they do that. So as much as they want to beat their chest in public and around their boys, around their girls, or whatever the case may be, when they get a minute by themselves to really think about that, they know they damn wrong as hell.
Yeah, they wrong. Man. You can't be playing all no games like that, especially with a woman, boy. Goddamn thin line between love and hate, boy. That shit for
Yeah,
real, son. Trying to tell you
boy,
some shit.
you don't know.
Find your ass and I'll still like goddamn Martin.
Mm-hmm. Yep, man.
So, do
So
you feel like women who do this are good parents making bad judgments, or are they just grinding?
I think at the core of it, men and women who do that, I think at the core they're good parents. But I also think that they're making bad judgments. Um, and there is a percentage of them out there who are just grimy, who just are so broken that they just don't know any better. Um, but the thing about it is, even if you don't know any better, or even if this is a situation where this is an emotional or mental problem is kind of different. But if it's an emotional problem, you need to learn to get your emotions in check, mainly for that child, um, because from a person on the outside looking in, if I don't know you and I know that this is going on, I'm just gonna think you a grimy person. Um, period. If I see a dude who is doing this, I'm definitely gonna think you grimy. Um, Now, if it's somebody that I know, then I know certain things about the situation and I can make a better judgment on it. But at the end of the day, I think overall, most of the people they're good parents making bad judgments. But again, there's that group of people. I was about to say there's a group of people out there who are just grimy. And it
Yeah,
don't make
man.
no sense that they that damn grimy. It just don't make sense.
No. I mean, my thing is this, right? There are, that percentage of females and males who actually want to be great parents. They want to make the best decision that they can based upon the information that they have as far as like what direction is best for their child. Um, I get that, again, you have to co-parent with this other person, but there are certain things you just don't have to do, which is,
Right.
like there's this video I was watching earlier this week where this guy, he was coming to get his son, and it was court ordered now
Mm,
that there's a designated time he can pick his child up and a designated time he has to have his child back.
right.
So he gets there a few minutes early to pick up his child. So in the process of waiting to get his child, she could have released the child at any time, but she's just being a real ooh wee about it. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like
wow.
one of them kind of people. Like she's giving him more hell
Mm.
about their past relationship and what kind of person she thinks he is now, and just giving him the business. And she's saying all this craziness right in front of their kid.
See, that's when you can honestly say it's grimy, because if we had a court ordered thing, and I come there a few minutes early or whatever the case may be, or and 9 times out of 10, you know, the woman know he's on his way. So if he gets there early, why are you going to spend that time arguing about what type of person he is and this, that, and the other, and all this stuff that don't even matter, you know, and especially in moments like that, the child is going to see it. And then, you have the issue where it's not even an issue. Um, when the other parent is little late bringing the child home. And then people flip off and go off the deep end, and then, oh, I'm gonna take you to court because you did this, that, and the other. um the thing I want to say about that is, you, by all means possible, keep the court out of that whole thing. The
Mhm.
court shouldn't really not be into that, be in the middle of that, because they're going to complicate your situation more than it needs to be. And people don't realize that or understand that until they get put in that position. The court will give you a ignorant sense of power. I'm not going to say a false sense of power. It will give you an ignorant sense of power, because you may be the custodial parent, and that other person, who either the other mother or father who isn't, they are literally your at your feet for a piece of sensibility when it comes to doing this. And people will use a court order to manipulate the hell out of somebody, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Hell yeah, they will. I have an associate of mine. Um, I remember him going through the channels of the court system. Uh, he and his ex fiance, they had a child together. Relationship didn't work. Um, the child had reached the age where the courts like you're at an age where you can make your own decision now of who you want to stay with.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they're always going to award the mother the custody, primary custody when they're young. So um, anyway, I think that was just a ploy to get money up out of him. He was old enough to go to the judge, and on the actual day that it came down for him to give his decision who he wanted to stay with,
Right.
the young man said, "I don't know."
Oh, wow.
So of course, the thing about it was you're telling your dad, "I want to stay with you. I want to stay with you. I want to live with you. I want to be with my dad." But every time you go back to your mom is poisoning you with the idea of how much she hates your dad. Your dad this,
Mm-hmm.
he that. I did this for you. I did that for you. So she's laying that guilt trip on this young man. And then when it's time for him to, say, "I want to live with my dad," he says, "I don't know."
That's
So
crazy.
of course, the judge was like, "Well, young man, you do realize, your father spent a whole lot of money just to get to this point.
Mm.
To hear you now say you don't know,
That's
when
crazy.
all this time you've been saying, 'I want to live with my dad. I want to live with my dad.'"
Mm.
But I say that to say, uh, in situations like that, whether it be the male or the female, that is some grimy ass shit.
It is grimy. It's real grimy. It is real grimy.
Because at the end of the day, it's more about the damn money. It's not about, letting this young man be with his father. Because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like this, and a lot of people may feel I'm wrong for having this perspective, but if I was to have a daughter and me and my daughter's mother, for whatever reason, didn't work out, I would have no problem leaving my daughter in custody of her mother,
Mm-hmm.
simply because I can't raise a woman. I can't, I can do the best I can, but I cannot teach her those things that a young lady needs to know in order to be a successful female. And how females teach females. You know what I'm saying? Like a mother teaches her daughter. But I feel like if I had a son, then my son should be with me,
Mm.
because no one can teach your child how to be a man except for a real man. And again, some people may judge me based off of that opinion, but again, uh, I think that there has to be some type of um, path, or there has to be some type of teaching a father should be able to give to his son.
Mm-hmm.
And there shouldn't be a blockade in between those teachings.
Mm.
And I just feel like, for me, again, this is me, my situation, not speaking on anyone else. Whatever you do is what you do.
Right.
But for me, as a man, I would want my son in my household so I can make sure he's on the correct path to be the best successful uh, young man he can be. Because I've taught him and I'm teaching him what he needs to know to be a good man.
Mm. I slightly disagree with that, but that's a topic for another day. But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to take a short little break here. It's the King and I Life podcast. We are talking about women being single because they use baby as a tool. Again, follow us on whatever podcast platform that is your preference. Hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, follow us on YouTube, email us KINGANDEYE 369 at gmail.com. That is the King and I Life podcast. And we will be back on this topic.
Yes, indeed.
Let me see. Oh, fuck. What am I doing here for? I could just.